News coming out of Washington, D.C. and Congress, and one of them has to do with coastal restoration money that will come from fines that BP will have to pay because of the oil spill disaster.
And the other has to do with flood insurance. Louisiana Senator David Vitter here now with more this morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, Liz and Shelley. Good to be with you.
Well, thank you for being here. We are in hurricane season. The good news with flood insurance, what is it that people need to know?
Well, today, this afternoon, President Obama is signing into law a major bill. It really is a triple win for Louisiana. Very good highway bill for highway funding, a flood insurance reauthorization bill long term. We've been struggling just going from one short-term extension to another. This provides the stability we need, and the Restore Act for that BP fine money to come to the Gulf Coast for coastal restoration. So that really is a pretty significant triple win.
It seems like every year we come back and we say, okay, flood insurance is going to run out.
Yep.
Is it going to be renewed? When you say long term, how long term
well,
are we talking?
5 years. That's about as long term as Congress looks.
Okay.
But that is a big difference over the last couple of years. In fact, 2010, it was so bad that the program was actually allowed to expire for no good reason for short periods of times, 4 different times, total of 53 days. And every time that happened, there would be real estate closings that would have to be canceled, because a lot of properties, you can't close on them without flood insurance. So it made no sense. This provides some real stability for the market, which is positive.
The official signing of the bill happening today. Tell us about what this means for people hoping to get money from the BP fines to start doing work along the Gulf Coast. When will they see some of this money?
Well, I'm hopeful we'll see a first installment within about a year. The whole process of determining the total fine amount will take some time, because it's going to be billions of dollars. The total for the whole Gulf Coast could be toward $20 billion, and Louisiana would get a significant share of that. But I think you'll see it in installments starting in about a year.
And who decides, once we get that money, where that money is going to go? Which projects are going to be funded first?
Well, the good news is we've been working, on a master plan for Gulf Coast restoration for more than a decade. So it's not like we're starting cold in terms of how to deal with this opportunity. So it's mostly implementing that master plan that's been worked on for a decade. But those decisions are basically made by the state with some federal agency partners.
And also wanted to touch on something linked back to Congress. Governor Jindal saying the state faces major cuts to Medicaid, basically for coverage to help the poor because of cuts in Congress. Tell me about that and your thoughts on that.
Right. Yeah, that was used as a pay-for legislation, and unfortunately that will hit our budget. Back during the Obamacare debate, if you remember, the so-called Louisiana Purchase money that was put in Obamacare, that's what we're talking about, not that basic money, but the fact that due to a miscalculation and an error in drafting, that actually yielded Louisiana a significant bonus, about $4 billion more than anyone, including Senator Landrieu, who authored that, intended. So that's being grabbed back. Now the problem is it's being grabbed back right at the 11th hour, after it has been really assumed and built into our next state budget. So it is causing some understandable heartburn in Baton Rouge. They're going to be dealing with that over the next 6 months.
And we just got the latest job reports in. U.S. employers added only 80,000 jobs in June. This is the third straight month of weak hiring. Any signs of what's going to be coming in the near future with the economy with reports like this?
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the trend over the last several months. 6, 8 months ago, seems like we were ticking up a little bit, and people, including me, were hopeful. Unfortunately, that's calmed down, and it's really a flat line, and you see over 8% unemployment persisting, very mediocre job growth. In fact, there was a report 3 days ago, loss of manufacturing jobs for the first time in several months. So that's very frustrating and unsettling. I think a big factor isn't just the basics of the economy, which are weak. I think it's Washington and threats and policy coming out of Washington. I think you have a lot of investors and a lot of businesses really sitting on their hands, concerned about policy coming out of Washington and waiting to see what's going to happen one way or the other.
And last quick question to you. Louisiana has not been hit as hard because we had a lot of post-Katrina dollars here. Are you concerned once those dollars start leaving the state, start leaving New Orleans, that we'll start seeing high unemployment numbers here?
Well, certainly this isn't a robust economy here either, but I think we're going to continue to do better than the national average. We have all through this recession, and actually the Katrina dollars started dwindling and falling off a cliff a year or two ago. So I think we're already seeing the impact of that, and we're still well above, or well below, I should say, the national unemployment average. So I think, knock on wood, we'll continue to do better than the national average.
All right. U.S. Senator David Vitter, thanks
Great
as always.
to be with you.
Thank you.